The lights are off and away they go.
Extremely loose. He's managed to hold on and they get.
He missed the complete. He's crazy stuff.
Side Freitas is on the grass on the infield before. He slides through. He tags Richard Eck.
From Daytona Beach, Florida, we come to you from the Daytona International Speedway, where today the 1 mile short road course configuration will host a very special event, the Absolute Beginners League Season 10 Race of Champions. And you can see all the action from the first of 9 mini heats to the last chance semi-final and the championship main event live as it happens here on the Global Sim Racing Channel. From the Sunshine State, welcome to a very special version of GSRC's Countdown to Green. I'm Bill Soups On. Joining me in the booth is Adam Forever Young, turning the knobs and pushing the sliders, is our director Amjad Yaman, and Dougie Beard is the camera guru. If you brought cyberspace into your place, then over the next 15 streamy award-worthy minutes, GSRC will bring you all the storylines, all the stats and facts you'll need to fully appreciate this unique event that will be streaming your way. As always, GSRC's coverage of the Absolute Beginners League Season 10 Race of Championships is made possible thanks to the good folks at ilovesimracing.co.uk, the home for your personal created button boxes. I Love Sim Racing. Sim race your way. So, what exactly is on tap? Well, comprising Season 10 of the Absolute Beginner League was a pair of series. Formula Eagle, the Skippy Series that GSRC brought you, and the Tony Hayes Cup, the MX5 Series, which was not on our broadcast schedule. Today, 6 invited drivers from each series have RSVP'd yes to get behind the wheel of a Ford Legend 34 Coupe and slug it out in a series of 9 3-lap races, a 4-lap last chance semifinal qualifier, and a 4-lap main event. And all of that, Adam, takes place on a track that many iRacers don't even know exists.
Yeah, Soup. I mean, who would have thought that Daytona has this 5-turn, 1-mile layout? I mean, and it's unique. You don't see it run very often. But what does it encompass that you might be familiar with? Well, it's going to encompass both the horseshoes in both the International and Western Horseshoe. It is going to have the kink in there. And it is going to have, kind of where they come across going into turn 4 is going to be kind of a bridge. And, well, I shouldn't say bridge. It's not an actual bridge, but you're kind of bridging 2 sections of the track with a little bit of a concrete path, and you kind of come right back out on the track there by pit exit. But it does have a couple of trouble spots that I'm sure we'll get to talk to about here today. But overall, this event, well, hey, if you joined us last time, for all the folks out there, Soup, when we did one of these, it was the street stocks at Okayama Short, and it was a fantastic show, and I'm expecting much of the same here today.
We'll get into the nuts and bolts of the details of how this is going to lay out, and let me tell you, the absolute beginner guys, they really have this thing down to a science, and they get it rolling out. It's going to be a really entertaining broadcast. But first of all, let's start by looking at some of the standing results for both of the series that wrapped up just last week. Let's start with the Formula Eagle. That's the one that we carry here. That's the Skippy series that we bring to you at alternating weeks here on the Global Sim Racing Channel. Errol Num was able to sneak ahead of Tuan Tran at the very end. Tran had some issues. He got a disconnect from his internet service, and it cost him the championship. Errol Num picks up his second championship. Actually, his third championship, if I have that right. Tran missed out on his second one, going to finish in second. David Burns, Pierce Cockey, and Patrick Fliss, who will say one more time, Patrick, he hurt his back riding his motorcycle. Get well soon, Patrick. We want to get you back here on the broadcast and back on iRacing as soon as we can. Let's go ahead and look at the driver standings. Top 5 for the Tony Hayes Cup. Now, that's something we don't bring to you here. It's on the alternating weeks when we are dark on GSRC. This is an MX5 series, and, well, look who it is. It's Errol Num one more time, the Roland Estonian, rolling in both series. He can drive these underpowered cars, whether they have fenders or not. Liam Quinn, David Burns, Vincent Bream, and Neil Bamber, all familiar names from the Skippy series that we bring you. They all finished 2nd through 5th. So, who is invited today? Let's go ahead and show you what they're going to do. 6 drivers from each series get called up. Now, a couple of them had double duty, so a few get to be pulled in that are a little farther down the standings. You can see they're from, on the left-hand side there, from Formula Eagle, you're going to see Tuan Tran, David Burns, Pierce Cockey, Bastian Hausman, and you're also going to see Eric Lukel, who's a last-minute replacement for Ricardo Lard, who's not feeling well today, and then, of course, Mikael Hoflandaisen. On the right side, this is the guys that got invited from the Tony Hayes Cup, the MX5 series. That's Errol Num, Liam Quinn, Vincent Bream, Bambi is here, Neil Bamber, Ludwig Sauer. Now, there's a driver we don't see over on the Skippy side, so this will be our first introduction to see what Ludwig can do, and then the fan belt, Johan van de Velde. So those are your 12 drivers here racing. Now, Adam, going through that part was kind of easy, but the hard part is trying to get into these nuts and bolts of what's going on. So do your best to walk us through how this event is going to play out.
Okay, sit down. Get out a piece of paper, maybe take some notes if you need to. Of course, we're running the cars today you see on your screen. You don't see another one of those cars you don't see too often nowadays, but it's one of my personal favorites on the series. It is that old Legends 34 Coupe. And these things, if you've never driven one, short wheelbase, they are torquey. So particularly during some of the slow speed corners here on this track, the horseshoes in particular, you have to watch out, make sure you're a little bit easier on the throttle. So we do have those 12 drivers that you brought up, Soup. Each of these guys are going to race in 3 heats. That's going to put us at a total of 9 3-lap heats. There's only going to be 4 cars in each of those heats, and there's going to be a point system with those, with first place getting 3, second 2, third 1, fourth doesn't get any. But the top 4 drivers after those heats are going to go to the finals. Now, there's going to be a semifinal. That's going to be 4 laps. There's going to be 6 cars, and 2 of those get to advance to the big show. The main event, 4 laps, and that's going to be 6 drivers also. The setups, this is going to be a fixed road course setup with these cars. And for yellows, there are live race marshals and a live pace car. The fast repairs, the drivers can get a fresh car each race. So that's just some of those unique things about this race that, it's kind of like an old Saturday night heat race type setup. with Legends cars, a short road course at Daytona.
And let's give a shout out to Edgar Sanchinelli. This is a rare occasion where we actually get to announce the driver of the pace car. In fact, Edgar now just he's bringing the pace car out on the track. Where are you going, Edgar? You must be watching the broadcast. Out there in that number 15 machine there says Frito on it. He's actually going to be pacing these guys around. This is one big, long practice session, so there's no coming in and going out. We'll be able to stay here the whole time, no reloading. And Edgar, notorious last time, Adam, if you remember, of having some issues when he would take the pace car down pit lane.
I remember one time I think the pace car ended up on its lid when we were doing the street stocks. That was interesting. I don't think he's going to have those kind of problems here today, at least I hope. But whenever you have old Futurama's Bender there on the back of your car, hijinks are, I'm sure, going to happen.
We like to take everything we do here at GSRC serious, and we always come into any broadcast with that in mind, but it's hard just not to have a good time here. This is just a fun little party that we're going to have. One thing to keep in mind is there are fast repairs. Now, you're not going to, since it's one session, and it's only a 3-lap race, it's really a fast repair is meaningless, other than you get a clean car every time. So if you bang it up in heat your first time out, Adam, at least you get a fresh one when you come out next time.
You do, and it might be one of those things that you need. In fact, if with Neil Bamber, you see here kind of going by the pit exit, for the normal Daytona road course that you're familiar with, that's going to be one of those trouble spots on the track. And if you run a little bit tight going through that corner, you're going to hit the wall, and you know how it kind of curves. You're going to end up slamming into the other side of that wall too, and probably end up on your lid. So that fast repair in between these races, that's probably where it's going to play out a lot, because not only does the wall kind of become a nuisance right there, but the track tightens up quite a bit as well. But with these cars, you can have a little bit of contact and be okay. And I think that's going to be one of those times that these guys might go ahead and rub a little bit as far as the fenders. They don't normally get a chance to do that with at least what we cover with the Skip Barber cars. I'm sure they do with the MX-5s a little bit, but it's going to be a lot of fun.
I'm not sure if it's the same for everybody, but for me, this was the first car that I tested out when I was in iRacing. Get out on the oval and see what it was like. They are real fun. Okay, we are getting very close to getting this underway. Our first heat is going to feature Aero Num, Eric Lukel, Mikhail Hoflandaisen, and Vincent Brame. They're just getting this organized right now. Remember, it's a 3-lap event. They'll have a pace lap, and then we'll get going. Adam, we always have Peaks Podiums picks. That is not coming back when we come back next season to do this thing. But let's go ahead and let you pick somebody who you think is the favorite here today.
Oh, I mean, come on, you got to go Euronum. It's the obvious pick. I mean, considering the fact he was a champion in both the series. But hey, let's go ahead and maybe act like for a moment that Euro is not here. I like Piers Cocky. We'll see what Piers can do. I did see him go ahead and flip his car at least once, but we'll see. We'll see what kind of fun he's going to have in this Legends car today.
I'm going to keep my eye on Neil Bamber there. Bambi looks like he could do very well. He was pretty fast out there in looking at qualifying times. I guess they did have some type of qualifying going on. Must have been an open session. Right now they're talking to the drivers, Johan Vanderbilt, going over, explaining what's going on. They're having a little drivers meeting talking about the 9 heats and how this is going to play out. One of the things that you want to do is try to get in a few points. If you can't get in as the top 4 drivers after the 3 heats are done, you want to make sure you're at least in that semifinal, because they're only taking 6 drivers. The bottom 2 drivers will not qualify, and of course there is a tiebreaker format that they are using.
Well, once we get out here, we're just waiting for old Sanchinelli there to pull off the pace car here any minute now. But they're going through the drivers meeting right now. The drivers are being reminded of the format. We're seeing a couple of cars get ready to come out here for their first heat.
And I have Johan Vanderbilt in my ears right now. I'm going to take my headphones off a little bit there because it's hard for me to talk over them. Let's talk about the weather here today, Adam. I'm not sure how this is going to play out, but it looks like it's pretty good. Mostly cloudy skies here in Florida, 76 degrees Fahrenheit, 88 degrees on the track. Not much wind, so it should be a pretty good day for racing for these boys.
Yeah, and these, as I mentioned, short wheelbase, high torque kind of engine with those narrow tires. Even track temperature 88 degrees, they're gonna have to hang on to the thing, and I think that's gonna be half the fun here.
Now, we did have a late, I can announce that Eric Lukel has substituted in for Ricard Allard, who's actually came in and practiced a little bit. I guess Ricard's not feeling well today, so wish him all the best to get better. I touched briefly on Patrick Fliss. I don't know if I mentioned it in previous ABL broadcasts, but Patrick came in. We know him from the MX5 World Tour, where he is very good. Came over here and was really dominating for the first races he was in, picking up win after win. The poor guy got bumped off of his motocross bike and really hurt his back. And I guess everything, he's on the mend. So one more time, Patrick, the Slovene machine right now is unplugged. Recover and get back out here so we can see you again. Hey, the cars are coming out on the track, Adam.
Yep, and I think we can go ahead and talk about who's going to run in this first seat there, Sue.
All right, it looks like, as we have now, we're not going to have a grid that we can actually put up for you, but we can tell you who it is. Errol Num, champion in both events, Eric Lukel, Mikkel Hoflandaisen, and Vincent Brame. So 4 drivers out there trying to get points.
And this will be a pretty short pace lap, and I know they're moving a little bit faster I think they would normally do under a pace lap, but it'll still be pretty quick with this track, only 1.04 miles in length. Now the one of the more interesting aspects, or funnier aspects, I guess, was the pit exit of the pace car. So it's going to be hard not to watch Sancinelli bring that thing onto pit road here in a little bit, but I think all eyes are going to be focused on Euro in that 78 Legends car here in just a minute.
3 laps. It'll be over before it gets started. Errol Num on the pole in the number 78 machine. Eric Lukel outside of him in the 42. The 81 back there of Mikkel Hoflandaisen, and watching the whole thing, Vincent Brame. This is anybody's race right now. This will give us a good indication of what we're in store for as Edgar Sancinelli takes the pace car off, puts the power into the hands of the Roland Estonian Errol Num as he comes across the cutoff section. This race is just about to get going. I'm only going to say it once tonight because it's going to get old quick, so let's use up the catchphrase right away. Gather up the chickens, take cover behind the cows, because the small stampede of cars are out of the barn, and Errol Num leads. Lukel, Hoflandaisen, and Breme. Oh, there's getting loose.
Already we got trouble out there. Vincent Breme is on his lid, but he ends up on all fours. He is backing away. But Lukel ended up losing the most time out of that. And so now we got a 2-horse race here between Errol Num and Mikkel Hoflandaisen.
But it is going to be interesting as Num is out in front of Hoflandaisen. Those guys look like they're going to get points. The question is, can Breme, whose car cartwheeled, barrel rolled down the straightaway, is he going to be able to keep the car ahead of Lukel, who did not get as much damage? They come across, completing lap number 1. It's Num out in front.
And that is something, Soup, that we did see when we did the street stocks at Okayama. That 1 point difference of maybe trying to get that 3rd place in a heat, that very well could make the difference between you being able to make the final show or not.
Errol Num won both championships in the Tony Hayes Cup and Formula Eagle. Looks like he's going to get off to a good start, racing in his familiar number, 78 number. Being followed by Mikkel Hoflandaisen. Don't think Mikkel's going to have anything as they're going to get the white flag right now. Our attention continues on the car that barrel rolled, Vincent Breme, so far able to fend off Lukel.
How about that? We're going to have a car. Yeah, we'll take a look at it after the race is done, of course, but we're going to have a car that was just on its lid, rumbling, tumbling, fumbling, and channeling my inner John Madden there through the grass, and he very well could come away with a point.
Errol Num rolling around the course. We're not able to put up the number of... Whoa, we are last lap. Look at this. Is our director able to do that, huh? What they were able to do here on the Global Sim Racing channel. As coming around, this is the white flag lap, so let's go ahead and give our director saying, I know how to do this, Sue. Let's go ahead and give heat number 1. Errol Num, second place is going to go. If I can scroll to it here, we're going to be able to tell you. Hoffland Days, and thank you. And it looks like third coming in. Yep, it's going to be Lukel. No, Bream is able to fend off Lukel.
How about that?
Now, Adam, we're going to go back and take a look at this lap 1 incident between Bream and Lukel.
You'll see Luke will just get loose, start to fishtail, and just catches Brem just perfectly in the left rear to send him up and over a few times.
Here we go. Hang on, boys and girls. We're riding on board with the car that goes over. Whee!
How many times do you see a rollover like that in these cars in real life? I mean, that is just perfect example of iRacing physics right there, where they've kind of hit the nail on the head. Where if you get clipped right in that particular part, I mean, you're going to go over.
Okay, so 3 points for Num, 2 for Hoffland Days, and Bream gets 1. And Lukel is shut out. Now, our next group of cars are out there on the track right now. Let's go ahead and run down who we got. It's the 181 car of Bastian Hausman sitting on the pole inside of the fan build, Johan Vanderbilt, in the 18 machine. The number 9 car of Ludwig Sauer and Liam Quinn.
And who is that on the back of Johan Vanderbilt's car? Who's he got riding along with him here today?
I don't know who that is. It's a Red Sox, or there's a Red Sox. Who is that? Do you know who it is?
I honestly don't know who it is. I mean, I know apparently.
It's Verstappen. That's who it is. Of course it is. That makes sense.
I do know we got Dave Grohl from Foo Fighters riding along with Liam Quinn with the best lyrics, or best of me lyrics written on the car.
Love it.
Here we go.
Sancinelli pulls it in. Bastian Hausman's going to take the green. And the 080 and the 181 gets a good jump on Vanderbilt. They're 2x2 back behind. Looks like Quinn on the outside is going to try to make that work. Sauer able to hang on for third position. So Quinn out there sitting outside the points right now, Adam.
Yeah, and they're getting ready to head to the kink, and much like your higher downforce cars here, you can actually take that kink flat out, but then you got to get on the binders here for the horseshoe. And in this particular one, it seems like to me with the kind of off-camber exit that you see Liam Quinn back there getting a little fishtailing, you really have to be easy on the throttle. If you're going to loop the car around, that'll be one of the corners to do it.
And taking a little peek with Sawyer, and he's going to lose momentum, and that's going to let the car from third place get in there in the number 6 machine. Tried to tuck up in there. Partly, it's the number 9 machine, as I read the number upside down. Sawyer go ahead and gets second. Bastian Hausman drops back to third now.
These guys are fighting hard right now. Lots of moving around going on, just trying to figure out what kind of position, what exactly is a defensive line and what isn't. As you see Ludwig kick out a cone there just a second ago. With them fighting, though, that's allowed Liam Quinn to get back on the back bumper of Bastian Hausman.
Vanderbilt, Sawyer, Hausman, and Quinn. Quinn back there trying to get that Foo Fighter machine around. He's got a good run. Let's see if he can tuck up and make the pass on Hausman. Hausman takes his half out of the middle. Not going to get it done there as they work on the last lap. Now trying to do the little dip-to-do, the up and under. That's the 24 car of Quinn, but I don't think he's going to have the momentum, Adam, as they're side by side down the back straight.
Yeah, he really lost a lot of momentum on the back end of that corner. But, if he tucks in behind, can use a little bit of that draft. These guys are going about 100 miles an hour, so the draft can come into play in some of these straights. But it doesn't look like he's going to need it. He's just going to need to have a good corner here from Liam Quinn. But Bastian Hausman does have a little bit of momentum once again. This could be a race to the line. Nope, Bastian Hausman's in the grass.
That's it for Hausman. Up in front, it looks like the fan belt, Johan Vanderbilt, is going to get heat number 2. As we come across the line there. Second place to Ludwig Sawyer. Did Quinn get credit with third? I guess he did, and Hausman got fourth.
Well, that's interesting to note, Soup. What I was watching Hausman there after he went through his little trip in the grass. When you start to hit that little area where you kind of come across the two track layouts, there's a big bump out there. If you get slightly off track, it almost threw Bastian Hausman up and over.
Each driver will get to race once before they go to the next round, and everyone gets a second round. So we'll get the final drivers that have not been able to qualify yet. And Adam, I've been calling these. Why don't you take a shot at getting these 4 drivers? Who we got out there today?
All right. So first up, sitting on the pole of this 4-driver third heat is going to be Piers Cocky. Alongside him, Neil Bamber, David Burns inside of row 2, and then Tuan Tran. What a heartbreaking deal for Tuan Tran there just a couple weeks ago. But he has a chance to come out here and have a little bit of fun today. He'll be your 4th driver in this heat.
Tuan Tran has managed to get some type of Mama Jean paint scheme on that. Mama Jean will be happy about that one.
But how about David Burns? You cannot expect me to let that go. My Little Pony.
Oh, okay, I got to. As much as Mama Jean will be mad at me, I got to pull for David Burns in the My Little Pony car. Tuan Tran going ahead, testing out what those cones feel like.
iRacing cone physics.
Bambi out there in the SpongeBob machine. SpongeBob SquarePants. And then the number 23 car up in front of Piers Cocky. Well, actually on the outside of row number 1. All right, Neil Bamber on the pole.
I do think, Soup, that they need to let us broadcasters run this next time.
Here we go. Heat number 3 gets underway. Boy, a great jump from the outside. A really slow jump there from Bamber. And that's going to give the lead to Cocky in the 23. Bamber in the yellow car on the inside. Looking on the outside. There goes SpongeBob.
My Little Pony versus SpongeBob. Only in the Race of Champions will you ever hear that.
And right now in the preferred position is SpongeBob. My Little Pony trying to make it on the outside. Burns in that pink car in 125 trying to make it work. Bamber on the inside. They continue to fight. And it looks like Bamber's going to be able to hold it off. Meanwhile, out in front, Piers Cocky comes across the lead, lap number 1. Tuan Tran back there just kind of feel out this fendered car. Running back there, not in the points right now.
He didn't have the best time in the practice session leading up to this thing too, so I just wonder if Tuan is just having a little bit of trouble figuring this car out. But then again, as you know, it only takes a couple of things to happen, and you find yourself in the final, spontaneously. So he's just back there, just trying to bide his time, I think.
A little bit of a wiggle there from Bamber. That maybe give Burns the opportunity to get in there. They are all 3 up front in the point-scoring positions right now. They come across completing the second lap. Going to be shown the white flag right now. Nobody really challenging for a position. Look at Burns dive that car and gives Bamber a little bit of a love tap saying, I'm here.
Yeah, the problem is that love tap costs him a lot of momentum coming down that long backstretch.
Just one more corner. The SpongeBob car dives it in deep. Bamber not going to have anything right now for Piers Cocky. As they negotiate the last little right-hander. Heat number 3 is going to go to Piers Cocky. Neil Bamber gets second. Third place to David Burns. And finishing just outside the points, Tuan Tran. So what that does is everybody has had one heat race. So what are we looking at here for total points so far? as they are updating it right now, and then we'll bring it to you just when we can. Everybody with one heat race under the belt. Winners so far have been Errol Num, Johan van de Velde, and then the winner that we just had right there, which if memory serves me right, was the fan belt. And we are continuing waiting for the timing and scoring for our official time to be updated. We can't tell you who's coming out next, though. It will be Tuan Tran, who just raced, so he's going to catch his breath there for a second, come back out, try it one more time. Johan van de Velde, who was just in that last... No, he was not in that last race. I apologize. He raced in heat number 2. Mikael Hoflandaisen coming out again. And the winner, though I correct myself, the winner of heat number 3, of course, was Pierce Cocky.
So next group coming out here, we're going to see a quick turnaround. Tuan Tran coming back out. He's going to race the last one. He's actually going to start the pole of this next heat.
That'll be good, as Tran was out of the points, so we'd like to pick up a few right now. They're working on where you want to start, either on the inside or the outside. It looks like Tran in that 21 machine has decided to go outside. Now here's the points. They're not quite updated. We're missing the results from that last heat, but we'll put this up. This is after the first two heats. You see Errol Num and Johan van de Velde. If my notes are correct, you can add up there as well Pierce Cocky with 3. So, heat number 4. And once they do update, we'll show you those one more time. We might be able to give you what they look like after all 3 races have been completed here in the first round. Now we get into what we're going to call the second round here. The next C3 set of races for drivers. Tran on the outside. On the inside is the 18 car of Van de Velde. Pierce Cocky sitting third, and on the outside back there in that white machine, Mikael Hoflandaisen. Some big nays here. Good luck from the drivers. Sancinelli has pulled the car into pit lane without any issues this time. Waiting for Tran to get on the throttle. He's waiting for him. And boy, he's really checking him up. When are they going? They go now. Boy, the 18 Van de Velde jumped in there a couple times. He got a jump, but he couldn't get in there. Now Tuan Tran is out in front. Can he close the door on Hoflandaisen? So far, not yet, Adam.
No, he couldn't at all, and he really did wait right until the start-finish line to hit the hammer and get that down. But now Pierce Cocky settled into third. Johan van de Velde hot on Tuan Tran's heels. Max Verstappen trying to channel his inner Max Verstappen here as he comes up and tries to take a look to the inside of Tuan Tran. Can't quite get there. Getting ready to head over here to the little concrete pad area. Not really a good passing spot. Got to be careful your car doesn't tighten up here because that pit wall comes up in a hurry if you get off track.
Oh, I think Van de Velde has a good run in the 18. He's going to see if he can dive it in under braking. Tran gets the car sideways, misses the apex. I think he's going to lose momentum off of that corner, and sure enough, look at that 18 get a bite and put the Van Velde out in front.
2 laps to go here. Well, lap and a half, actually. We still have all 4 cars that you can fit onto one screen here. So, tight racing in this one.
Tran again wide, taking that late entrance, like getting the apex late. Almost opened the door for Cocky. Cocky couldn't step through it. This has been the closest race so far. Van de Velde, Tran, Cocky, and back there is Hoflandaisen. Still, though, could easily get there. White flag. Uh-oh, Tran was really waiting. A great dive in that time from Cocky. Tran did not want to slam the door, and not only is he going to lose second position at him, he's going to lose third as well.
And yeah, he's falling all the way back here to fourth. So now Mikael Hoflandaisen will have Tuan Tran on his bumper. But right now, as it stands, it'll be Van de Velde, Cocky, and Hoflandaisen coming away with points, but not over yet. So got a couple corners to go here.
They work their way around the last horseshoe. Now they are on the throttle. It's Vanderbilt out in front of Cocky. Is Cocky going to have anything for him? I don't think so. Hoffladazen is going to get third and give the last place to Tuan Tran. Adam, we're going to take a look at that pass for the lead as we're going to ride on board with the fan belt as you got around Tuan Tran.
Yeah, you're going to see Tuan Tran here coming down the front stretch across the start-finish line. And Tuan Tran just doesn't hit the apex right here. Ends up shifting wide, and Vanderbilt able to slip right on by going down that long back straightaway.
All right, now we can go fully updated. Now, this is going to be a little misleading because some drivers have raced twice, but you can see that Johan Vanderbilt has had a good day as he is 2 for 2 with wins, sitting in 6th. Pierce Cocky in 5th, or with 5 points. Errol Num and Mikael Hoffladazen, of course, Num yet to do his second heat. And that second heat is getting underway right now. And rolling out as we going through here, looks like we're going to have Liam Quinn, Vincent Brame, Bastian Hausman, and Eric Lukol.
So this will be another fast split here with a couple of guys that really could be a factor later on today, particularly Hausman. I mean, you saw that Hausman this last time around is able to put himself in a good position. Of course, Dave Grohl up there. He's was a drummer for Nirvana, lead singer for Foo Fighters, but did you know he can race Legends cars?
Wouldn't surprise me. He's multi-talented. All right, heat number 5. Liam Quinn sitting in that 24 machine. Outside of him, Vincent Brame. Keep an eye on the 181 back there of Hausman. And they're off. Quinn gets the best jump, and yeah, what I thought, that 181 is going to get to the inside as well, so that's Hausman's going to get second position. Brem falls back to third. Eric Lukol watching everything happen in front of him.
Yeah, but going down the back straightaway there on 1, 2, 3, 4, and as soon as I say that, Vincent Brem sticks his nose out, actually makes contact with Bastian Hausman. Bastian Hausman in the grass, trying to hang on to the thing, able to get it woed up and into the horseshoe, but whoo, a little bit that was a good little shunt there coming out of the kink.
Just enough to rattle his cage, put him off into the grass, but he keeps it going. He loses 2 spots. And that moves Vincent Brame up to second, picking up some now, moving up into third is Eric Lukol.
Yeah, that spread things out quite a bit there. Eric Lukol getting a little loose there on the exit of the first horseshoe, and don't forget that's where he lost it and made contact with Vincent Brem during that first heat earlier. So that's kind of a dangerous spot there for Eric Lukol. But right now, Vincent Brem having a much better race. He hasn't been on his lid yet in this one, but now he's trying to make some ground here on Liam Quinn, and is actually doing a good job of doing that.
Yeah, that was a tough break for Hausman as well, who didn't score in his first heat. If he's sitting back there now looking to have zip if this continues after 2 rounds, they come around for the white flag. Quinn, but look at him as he is being really pressed. Now ducking to the inside. Does Brem have anything for him? Let's see what kind of drive they can get off here. Right now it's Cialis Bathtubs down the backstretch, the 25 on the inside of the 24. Vincent Brem and Liam Quinn side by side into the last horseshoe. Quinn will have the outside line. He might be able to get some more momentum out there. Brem on the inside line. Let's see how this plays out. Quinn with a great drop off the final horseshoe. Here they come. It's going to be close. This could be a photo finish as they come through these last little kinks. Both cars down. I think it's the shorter distance is going to be the deciding factor. And yes, it is. Vincent Brame gets the win. Liam Quinn gets second. Eric Lukol gets third. And missing out on the points one more time, Bastian Hausman. We're going to go back and take a look at the little bit of pushing and shoving here. This is from Hausman. We can find this. Nope, we don't have it.
That's okay. Things happen sometimes, but needless to say, that was probably the most exciting moment of that race there than that last pass. But we already have the next group of guys coming out on track.
And you got to just, before we give a tip of the hat, or call this grid, how about a tip of the hat to the organizers? It's Adam, look how they get these, trying to get iRacers to do anything in a systematic fashion, like herding cats. And these guys have really got it figured out. Who we got out there, Adam?
Well, I can tell you that resuming the battle of the children's shows is going to be up front. So we've got David Burns up there alongside Neil Bamber, and then behind them we got Ludwig Sauer and Euro Nums. So Euro Nums actually going to have to try to come from the back to the front on this one.
Now, just want to make sure, Burns, this might be his second. I thought everyone got, before they brought out again, I thought everyone got to complete 2 races each. I'm not sure. They're showing Burns with 4 points, which means he might have raced twice already. We'll follow up on that in a minute. We'll get a complete rundown here. Heat number 6. It is SpongeBob against My Little Pony. Waiting for Neil Bamber to go ahead and get these guys started. Bamber on the inside in the 45, and there he goes. Gets a good jump. Oh, the My Little Pony car in trouble right now as Ludwig Sauer tries to duck in, and I think Sauer's going to challenge him for second position. No, a great drive off, a lot of power off from Burns, and now that tight inside line is going to hurt Sauer as Euro Num gets third position.
Yeah, Euro Num just powered right by him, and now he's already setting his sights here on David Burns. Is he going to be able to do anything going in the corner? No, David Burns almost unintentionally, I'm sure, shut the door on Euro Num trying to set up Neil Bamber, but wasn't able to do anything there either. But tight three-way battle now up front as we're getting ready to close out lap 1.
And they come across. It is the 45 machine out in front. That is Neil Bamber. Looking to see if he can at least, if he can't get first, he'd like to hang on to second, and that would be, of course, the number 125 car.
Here comes Euro Num looking at him through the kink. Remember, this is where we saw contact just a minute ago between a couple of guys. Now Euro Num's fighting back on the outside, going through the horseshoe. Yeah, it looks like he's going to lose a lot of ground. Not able to get it. He gets sideways there. Yeah, and that's going to allow Ludwig Sauer to get back up on his back end here. Frost really trying to fight for him for that last points-paying position in this heat.
Nothing ventured, nothing gained, but Errol Num almost lost that spot as he tried to get around the My Little Pony car of David Burns as they work this final lap. Neil Bamber out in front. Uh-oh. Where is Errol Num going? He's lost it. Errol Num was trying to make the pass out in the alfalfa. The car got a little bit loose. He wasn't able to hang on, and the rolling Estonian is not rolling any longer. Hey, but nevertheless, hey, look at this up front. Sauer now, after picking up third position, had visions of getting around Burns. I don't think that's going to happen. They come across heat number 6. Your winner's going to be Neil Bamber. David Burns gets second. Ludwig Sauer is going to pick up a point for third. And getting shut out that time was Errol Num. Adam, we're going to go ahead and take a look at that trip that Num took through the Daytona grass there.
Yeah, it just gets this is one of the areas I was a little bit worried about it. You know, these little short wheelbase, twerky little cars, and gets on the outside of them, puts some wheel in the grass, and a little bit too much gas in the process, and whoop, we're going around.
Okay, I think now as we finish 3, I think we can show the standings here. I think they are updated one more time. And there we have it. You can see Van de Velde out in front.
So now we've already seen the grid shape up here for the next race. Edward Sancinelli out there in the pace car. And from there, the next grid shaping up to be another good race. David Burns is going to be making another appearance here. He's going to start alongside Eric Lukl. Then we got Hausman and Cocky in this one too. So, I mean, you got a couple of your guys that have been able to grab a couple of points with Cocky trying, looking possibly to take the lead here with only a couple of heats left. So, you know, we're going to go coming down the backstretch here. Once again, Edgar Sancinelli driving the pace car, a little bit less of an adventurous time with the lack of pit entry walls what he had at Okayama in the street stock. So good on him for that. Bastian Hausman is going to start shotgun on this field. He needs to get some points in this one to be able to be in contention, or he's going to be looking at possibly trying to you know, have to get into the transfer spot here in the semifinal. Soup Edgar is pulling off.
And here we go. Keep an eye on Eric Lukl there, sitting in the number 42 machine. David Burns back out there, sitting in the 125. Heat number 7, 3 more to go. Lukl gets a great jump into the first corner. David Burns going to lose that spot. Cocky's going to go over, take second position. Bastian Hausman sitting back there in the final spot.
Yep, now we're going to have these guys go side by side through the kink again. Burns on the inside. He is able to get by there without any contact with him here in Piers Cocky, but he's still looking on the outside, going through the horseshoe. It looks like he might just go ahead and slip back behind him here as they're going to run with Lukl, Cocky, and Burns going 1, 2, 3. Oh, and don't forget, Hausman's back there as well.
They come across, completing the first lap. Oh, dive into the inside now, taking a peek in there is Piers Cocky. No room for him to get that done, but let's see what kind of drive he can get off the outside. The 42 machine of Lukl gets a little bit squirrely. He's able to hang on, though.
Yeah, we've already talked a couple of times about Eric having a little trouble with a loose race car coming out of that corner. It almost bit him again, but this time Burns is going to fight back on the outside of Cocky. Ends up losing a little bit of momentum, but that's going to actually allow Cocky to get to the inside of Eric Lukl here. So good battle for P1, P2, and P3 ongoing right now. Piers Cocky cuts the corner just a little bit. He's going to lead this thing coming across the start-finish line this time.
Boy, and Burns really took a shot through the grass there. I hope he doesn't get a slowdown penalty as he cut the course a little bit. I guess he's going to be okay. Watching the whole thing is the 181 machine of Bastian Hausman. He's yet to score a point. He really has to hope that something happens in front of him, or he's going to be out of the mix when it comes to the semifinal last chance qualifier. Right now, Cocky. And on the back of it, of course, it says Shortfield. I didn't notice that before on the back of Piers Cocky, living up to his nickname. Eric Lukl running in second position. Looks like he's going to be able to hold on here, at least for this lap. And they come across. They're going to finish in that order. So no points for Hausman. Go ahead, Adam.
Yeah, so that his Hausman's bad luck streak continues there. Hey, while we got a second, and one thing I want to bring up, we brought it up a little while ago about the tight starts here lately on these on the heat starts, and what it is that the organizers asked the drivers to tighten it up and don't start so early. The start finish line here is actually just a little bit past pit exit. It's actually, you know, like if you imagine yourself yourself driving the Daytona road course. You're coming out onto the track. You've got the solid white line on pit exit off to your right, coming out once you've cleared the wall. The start finish line is right there. You can actually see it just a little bit past as Edgar Santinelli is going by it, and that's where these guys are aiming to start this race at right now. That's the actual start finish line for this racetrack.
Well, so far the Mama Jean Racing drivers have yet to score a point, as both Tuan Tran and Bastian Hausman are showing zeros. Cars are out on the track one more time. This will be Tuan Tran's last chance to get a point up there. Vincent Bream out there sitting in the preferred position on the pole. Bream has 3 points so far. Tuan Tran, of course, scoreless. There's Errol Num, who we saw win the first race, then have a bad second heat. Num sitting out there with 3 points as well. And the fan belt. He's been perfect so far. 3 for 3 with 6 points. Bad news is he's starting at the very back.
Yeah, I know exactly where he doesn't want to be, but you know, that's the thing. Don't forget that the top 4 drivers here do advance to go directly into the final. And if these guys have to try to get by in the semifinal, there's only 2 transfer spots.
All right, the Mama Jean car on the outside needing some points. Vincent Bream just looking to add a little bit to his total, hopefully maybe try to get into the top 4. Bream holding him up, and now he gets a great jump. Oh, he got Tran sleeping. Tran was trying to get a jump, and Bream will go, now getting loose. Who can get those cars going out there first? It's a matter of who can come off the grass. It looks like Vanderbilt is going to get out there first. Bream and Num survive as Vanderbilt and Tran got together. Vanderbilt lost control, came across right in front of Tran, who T-boned him. Now, up front, though, there is a great battle going on. Vincent Bream trying to fend off the rolling Estonian. They head down, completing lap number 1. It looks like Vincent Bream is going to go ahead and get credited with leading the first heat. This is good news for both of these drivers, who are sitting on 3 points total. Not sure. A win should be enough to get you into the to avoid the semifinal last chance qualifier. Not sure if second place will be enough for Errol Num. Vanderbilt well back there with 6 points total. Looks like he's going to come away with a 7 for his total.
Yeah, the 2 guys that do not want to see this up front right now is David Burns and Neil Bamber. I do believe that if Bream and Num finish 1-2, I could be wrong. I'm horrible at math, but I do believe that'll essentially knock out both Burns and Bamber.
Num took a peek at him there, coming to get the white flag on the outside. Didn't get it done, but that's something to keep in mind. Num again really loose coming out of that first horseshoe. That's where he had trouble before. He lost a lot of ground. Errol will have one more shot at it as they come into this final horseshoe. Takes out a few coasts, dives it in deep, sees if he can figure out any way around Vincent Bream. Looks like he got a pretty good run out of there. Going to go to the outside, but once again, that's the long way around. We have yet to see this line pay off. I think it's the shorter line to the start-finish line, and yep, I think it's going to work out one more time, but it was exciting. Vincent Bream gets the win. Errol Num in second. The fan belt gets third. And now, Adam, we're going to take a look at the crash. This is Vanderbilt and Tran. I can actually not see it, but you can see you're going to see Vanderbilt come across the nose of Tran.
Yeah, and it's just one of those things that sometimes happens with these cars. Now I think Tuan Tran's just out there having a little bit of fun as I see him flash across my screen. But, you know, these cars, it's just so easy to be able to get that back end to come around on you as we're getting ready to have our 9th and final qualifying heat here.
Okay, and here we go. We have, in this round, this is our final round, we're going to see Ludwig Sawyer, Michael Hofland-Dason, Liam Quinn, and Neil Bamber.
Okay, so as it stands right now, and this is going to be important, your top 4 in the points is Cocky, Vanderbilt, Brem, and Num. So with Bamber, it's actually a tiebreaker right now that Num has over Bamber and also Burns. Now, Burns isn't in this heat, so he's guaranteed that he's going to have to try to race his way in through the semifinal. So what really the big question on the line right now is Neil Bamber. If Neil Bamber can score a point, it will put him over Euro Num to get into this race.
And the good news with everybody, with Tran and Bastian Hausman's day being done, they're both sitting down there with 0. Everybody out there is guaranteed at least that they will make the semifinal last chance qualifier there. So let's go ahead. They would like to be able to get in. It's much easier if you can do it the top 4 drivers advance, like Adam was saying. It's much easier if you can do it that way. The number 9 machine of Ludwig Sawyer sits on the pole. He's got 3 points. Hofland-Dason back there again with 3 points. He would like to get a win. A win would get those guys into the finals without having to earn it. And they're going. Liam Quinn also with 3, looking to get that win. Neil Bamber out there with 5, would like to score at least more than 1 point. Adam, I think it's safe to say that with 3 points up for grabs right now, and Sawyer, Hofland-Dason, and Quinn all sitting with 3, winner should get a quick ticket to the finals.
Yeah, actually, you're right. Looking at the math here and everything else, if Bamber gets a point with those other guys, wins this race, we very well could see those bottom 2 get swapped out again, 3rd and 4th place, which would be Brem and Num. So they're the 2 guys right now that are on pins and needles, waiting to see what they're going to do as far as transfer spot. But right now, Neil Bamber back there actually losing a little bit of ground to those 3. As I say that, he's able to get back up close to the back end of Liam Quinn's car, but Liam Quinn has a much better drive off. In fact, almost too good of a drive off, and almost gets to the back of Hofland-Dason.
Sawyer in that 81 trying to fend off Quinn. Let me correct myself. Hofland-Dason out there in the 81 trying to hold off Quinn. Now coming in. Here comes Bamber. Bamber on the inside. Bamber going to try to make that 45 car work. SpongeBob gets a good drive off the corner, and now he is side by side with Quinn. Mr. Excitement on the outside. Neil Bamber on the inside. Bambi trying to make it work. Not able to do it. And look, the outside line worked that time as they get the white flag.
And then Hofland-Dason just really tries it in against Ludwig Sauer going into turn 1 there. And now they are side by side, knocking wheels here together, getting ready to go through the kink. There we go. Hofland-Dason bumping them a little bit, running the fingers exactly like I thought they would. And Hofland-Dason's going to get a good look at him. But Ludwig Sauer actually taps him a little bit. And Ludwig Sauer is going to be the one that's going to go around.
This is going to open. And Hofland-Dason able to keep the car straight. Quinn is going to go ahead and get second, maybe be able to get there to first. I don't think so. That's going to give a point to Bamber. And all of a sudden, Sauer, who was looking so good, is going to be worried now. I think he's going to have to earn his way into the finals. Give the win. They saved the best for last. Heat number 9 was the most exciting. Michael Hofland-Dason gets the win. Liam Quinn second. Neil Bamber third. And we're gonna look at the pass for the lead as we can clean it up that Michael Hofland-Dason might need a change of clothes after that one.
He's describing what happened on his end very vibrantly.
Yes. Well, yeah, a lot of European color. All right, we are waiting for the official scoring and the tiebreakers to be determined who's going to get in here. And I think the points have been updated. Let's go ahead and put them up.
We had a three-way tie for third place, Soup, which unfortunately Hoffenheim comes out at the back end of that tiebreaker.
You can see with Brem, Bamber, and Hoffendaisen all with 6 points. We're assuming that is the order that they're going to. Oh, now we have a quick update. Nope.
Again. Okay, so now we've got Cocky. Still updating. Maybe we'll just wait here a second and see what happens. If anything else happens.
Oh.
They're figuring it out right now.
Well, you can see it live as the changes are being shown right there, I believe. They're getting updated right now. This is take you inside of a little inside baseball here, a little inside Absolute Beginners League. So it looks like Cocky, Brehm, Johan Vandevelde, and I guess they're going to give it to Bamber is going to get the nod over Mikkel Hoflandaisen as they had 6.
Yeah, so either way, what we said first ended up being the correct statement that Hoffenheim ends up being the one that comes out at the short end of the tiebreaker, except it was a two-way tie for fourth place. So Cocky, Brem, Vandevelde, and Bamber that would be your transfer spots going into the final race. That is going to leave, I believe. See, that should be Hoffendaisen, Num, Quinn, Burns, Sauer, Lukel, Tran, and Hausman will be your 6 drivers, or excuse me,
Tran and Hausman, drivers. They only take 6, so Tran and Hausman didn't qualify.
Yeah, that's right.
Two of the drivers don't make it, so you had it right there. Hofflandaisen, Num, Quinn, Burns, Sauer, and Lukel.
Hey, I'm only the one that read them off coming into the show, right?
No, we got it. This is going very well. Now, the only difference here, we have 6 cars in this next one. The top 2 drivers out of here will advance, but it'll be a 4-lap race instead of 3. So they're going to let them go one more time around. So the 2 drivers, 1 and 2, advance, and that'll give us 6 cars for our final. They're waiting to get everything organized there. You're watching the Absolute Beginners League. This is the Race of Champions, season number 10. Champions from both the Formula Eagle and the Tony Hayes Cup. Tony Hayes Cup is with MX5, Formula Eagle, of course, with the open wheel skippy machine. Edgar Sanginelli bringing the pace car to the front of the line of cars that are in pit lane. Race control, reminding everybody, it is 4 laps.
Yeah, last thing you want to see is somebody go ahead and stop a little early, thinking they won the race on the 3rd lap. It's happened before, folks.
And they don't get shown the flags here, as this is all one big long practice session, so they have to kind of do it in their minds right now. The cars are lining up, and it looks like we're only getting 4 coming. I'm seeing out there right now, I'm seeing Errol Num and Neil Bamber. They're getting them organized. I see Liam Quinn out there, David Burns. Here they come. Here comes Lukel. And the last card of the party, Ludwig Sauer, bringing that number 9 machine out.
This really does have a Saturday night short track feel.
Oh, it's love it. And I can't say it enough how well organized it is, but yes, it really does, especially with these little cars. Well, now all the math is out of the picture here. You don't need to figure out where you are. All the points are wiped clean. Is this a matter of finishing 1st or 2nd to advance?
We got several very equally matched vehicles here with these guys, so this very well could be a 4 or 5 way battle for the fight for the top 2 here.
Bamber has been very effective. Errol Num had that early win, and then has seen his share of issues. So Num is fast if he can keep the car on the gray part of the venue. 24, Liam Quinn, Mr. Excitement, just inside of the My Little Pony car of David Burns. Going to be a tall order for Ludwig Sauer back there inside of row 3 to get there. Might need a little bit of help up front. Eric Lukl sitting outside of row 3. Okay, it's the semifinal. Our 10th race so far. They wait. Neil Bamber. SpongeBob gets a great jump, and he's going to suck along with him the car number 24 of Liam Quinn. Quinn going to do his best to hang on, but no. Again, the drive from the 78.
Oh, we had contact between Sauer, Burns, and then also Lukl. I think it was actually precipitated there by Lukl and Burns. So that's your back 3 cars involved in an accident, and now the race is on for first and second place. Liam Quinn trying to dive in there to get to Euro Num. Euro Num also trying to take a look at Neil Bamber here.
Yeah, Lukl got into the back of Burns, and then Sauer gave him a little help pulling around. I think those guys are out of the picture. So now it is all about the drivers up front. Coming around, completing the first lap. Bamber, Num, and Quinn. Basically, it's a 3 cars. It's like a game of musical chairs. 3 cars for 2 spots.
Wonder if Liam Quinn right now, if what he's thinking about trying to get around Euro Num when he might try to set that pass up.
And here comes Num. Yeah, they get... Oh, this is going to be good for Quinn. Num gives a little bit of a push to Bamber. Bambi gets loose, and he's going to lose momentum, and that's going to open the door for Mr. Excitement. Here comes the 24 car as they come across, completing lap number 2. Liam Quinn now moves into the transfer spot. Drop back to 3rd is Bambi.
Liam Quinn proving that he's got another confession to make and that he's no fool. And he might get the best of you. I've been waiting for the right time this entire broadcast to do that.
Well done. As he continues to drive away with it now. Bamber's really going to have to force the issue. Again, Num taking that really late apex into the horseshoe. Late in, early off. They come across, they're going to get the white flag this time. It's about a 5-car length gap from Quinn back to Bamber. Bamber with a good run, though, dives it into the first horseshoe, gets the car loose. He takes it off into the grass. That's all that he could do. That takes the pressure off Liam Quinn.
So now all that these guys have to do is just Num and Quinn just run clean here for the rest of the race. And as soon as I say that, Num decides he's going to go ahead and take out a few cones.
Quinn working his way out of the last horseshoe. Coming across, these are corners 4 and 5. Last chance qualifier. The win goes to Errol Num. Liam Quinn gets second. And the race control comes across and says they will be starting P5 and 6 respectively in the final. Now we're going to take a peek. We cannot see it, but we're going to take a peek at the first lap incident here. You viewers have a better view at it than we do right now as we're having some technical issues. As Lukl and Burns get together. We're going to go on board with Lukl. And that incident basically took them out of contention. One more, and we're going to give one more look here with Bamber. And then we're looking at this Bamber at the very end of the race. And again, that cost him his spot as he moved from first all the way back to third position. Okay, we are back live now. Well, Adam, this is what we've been waiting for. 4 more laps. Put an end put a bow on what was a very good season for the absolute beginner guys.
Yep. Yeah, I'll say that the Absolute Beginners League, it has been a pleasure calling the Formula Eagle series here with you for the last season and a half there, Soup. And it's one of my favorite series to do. These guys put on a great show every single time. And as you've seen here today, if you don't normally watch the Absolute Beginners League races, you got to tune in for them because these guys, they're a blast to watch. They really are. They have a lot of fun out there. It's a series. They get along pretty great. And that's always good to see. And they show it in their driving here, how much respect they have for one another.
And the cherry on top is this Race of Champions that you and I, we really look forward to doing because it's something different for us. It's something different for the fans. We hope you viewers are enjoying it. Short Phil is his nickname. Pierce Cocky, notoriously bad at taking the right amount of fuel. He's on the pole position, and the good news for him is with only 4 laps, there is no pit stop. So his nickname is not going to come back to haunt him right now. He's going to be inside of Vincent Bream, the fan belt. Back there in the number 18 car, inside of row 2. Mikael Hoflandaisen outside of him. And then the 2 guys that you just saw qualify from the semifinal. Multi-time champion, Errol Num, back there inside of row 3. Mr. Excitement, Leon Quinn, outside. I think I got one more in me for the grand finale here. Gather up the chickens, take cover behind the cows because the horses are out of the barn, and jumping to the inside is the 81 machine. That's the fan belt, Hoflandaisen. They are racing in diamond formation, 4 wide down the back straight. That's how you finish up a season.
This is not going to go through the...
Errol Num on the inside survives. The drivers that do not. Oh, we're going to have a caution. They're going to throw a red flag. Woo-hoo-hoo!
Wow.
On his lid is Johan Vandenveld. The replay is coming up right now as you can see them 4 wide. Now we're going to look at it from above. The driver that got the worst of it was Vandenveld.
I think that they're on the wrong track configuration to run 4 wide. But it did answer how many Legends cars we can stick side by side going down the backstretch, though.
We're going to go one more time onboard with Brim. They just got squeezed. And the car that went into the barricades and rolled over, hit hard, was Vandenveld. But also involved in it was Liam Quinn. So now we are back live. So what is going to happen now? This is kind of anybody's guess. Do they get a fast repair? Do they start it over?
I think we're waiting on the organizers to decide exactly what's happening here, but I think they're getting things figured out here. It'll be okay. It is definitely a dynamic situation when you're trying to do these type of races, and yeah, it's fun, but it can be, sometimes in these situations here, it can be a little bit of a headache to try to get everything down and make sure I get everything right. And they'll take their time, make sure they get it right here.
Oh, we're good. This is the last race, so you can do it. Now, it was in the rules. We have live marshals here. We didn't mention it because we didn't think it was going to happen, that there would be a big one. Cocky first. Arrow second. Okay, they've got it worked out. Vandenveld went back and reviewed. Johan Vandenveld went back and reviewed the replay. As he is one of the race stewards. He put him in order of the crash. The question that we need to know is, will it be 4 or 3 laps? The answer is coming in just a minute. 4 laps, a complete race from race control. So we do it again. I love it. Okay.
Can we go 5 wide?
Short Phil remains in the preferred spot up in front. Errol Num outside of him. Now, this is great news for the Roland Estonian. Remember, he started in the back row. He has worked his way up to second already. It's better to be lucky. As they say, it's better to be lucky than good, but if you're Errol Num, apparently you're both. Go ahead, Adam.
A lot of what happened there on that last start that was precipitated by these guys, the leaders really held them up at the line, like even more than before, and they were bumping, you know, they got these little push bumpers on these cars, and they were all knocking against each other coming down to the line even before the race started. So we'll see if they have a little bit more of a wide open start, give each other a little bit more room, but I have a feeling they won't. This is going to be pretty exciting again.
Pierce Cocky with the jump out front. Num tucks into second. Dropping in behind is Brame. Now on the high side, that's in the 18 car, is Vandeville. Vandeville goes very wide. That's going to give the opportunity for Mr. Excitement to Liam Quinn in the 24 to get up there. He can't do it, and he loses momentum, and that's going to let Hoffland-Dazen get inside now. Battle in the very back as they continue to try to work their way up. Meanwhile, up front, it's Liam Quinn. Uh-oh, there goes Num. Num gets loose as he tried to tuck it on the inside, but in classic Roland Estonian fashion, he's able to save the car. Even though he loses all the spots, the save was impressive as anything you would want to see. First lap is done. Liam Quinn comes across leading the way, and he's got a nice cushion, about 8 car lengths on Pierce Cocky. Let me, well, let's get this right. I apologize. Pierce Cocky in the lead. There we go. Brame in second. I have my time and scoring wrong. Thank you. That's a whispering in my ear. So let's review that again. Pierce Cocky out in front by about 4 car lengths over Vincent Brame. Vanderbilt now trying to catch back up. Back in the back, Liam Quinn. Errol Num has managed to work his way, even after spinning, has worked his way around Liam Quinn and is now trying to get around Hoffland-Dazen. Might be not enough time for those guys to get it done. Cocky comes across, leading lap number 2. Short Phil, 2 laps to go, and no worry about the fuel. Vincent Brame doing everything he can, diving it into the corner, trying to close the distance. Cocky way out in front. Johan Vanderbilt back there in third, out of the contention, really. I don't think it's going to matter. Those guys are just racing. Having fun in the very back. Hoffland-Dazen and Quinn, but it doesn't matter. One more time up front. Your leader comes across. He gets shown the white flag. It is Pierce Cocky. He's got about a 5 car length lead. Pierce Cocky works around the first horseshoe. Closing the gap a little bit is Vincent Brame. He's now about 4 car lengths back. He's in the toe. He tries to gobble him up a little bit as he comes in close. They work through corner number 2, heading down into the final horseshoe. Brame is there. If Cocky makes a mistake, Brame could get there. Brame dives it in deep, but he's not able to do it. Can he get a good run off the final horseshoe to get there? Cocky goes wide. Brame with a pretty good run. I don't know if he has enough time. It's down to 2 car lengths now. Short Phil dives into the apex, takes the defensive line, giving the run all he can. Here comes Brame. Will he get there? It's 1 car length. No! The winner of the Season 10 Race of Champions for the Absolute Beginner League goes to Pierce Short Phil Cocky. We're going to take a replay of the Num wreck here when he was trying to make a pass for the lead. The pass was unsuccessful, but his ability to save the car, which was truly amazing. And there we have it. We are back live. What we're going to do now here on the Global Sim Racing channel is take a short break, but don't go far. We'll be back to do driver interviews and then close up shop. You don't want to miss the interviews. This is the last time this season. Back in a few. Welcome back to the Global Sim Racing Channel's coverage of the Absolute Beginners League Season 10 Race of Champions. And boy, with Adam, it's a special event, so we're going to do things a little special here. How much fun is this, huh?
Oh, I love this. This is the most fun thing I think we do.
We cannot give you a total rundown, I do not believe, of how they finished in that final race. But we can tell you that Pierce Cockey was able to finish just ahead of Vincent Brame. And I think the fan belt actually probably got third. So we know, though, that the Race of Champions for season number 10 goes to Pierce Shortfill Cockey. And as luck would have it, we're able to bring Shortfill into this interview booth right now and congratulate him on his victory today. Pierce, you do great when there's no pit stops involved.
Yeah, absolutely.
That last run, first of all, were you, before the red flag was thrown, were you able to look in your rearview mirror and see that they were 4 wide behind you?
Yeah, I could see. I was worried Aero was near the back of the pack, and that made me pretty happy. And then
Right.
the restart, I couldn't believe it, and he was right next to me.
Yeah, we noted that on the broadcast as well. That you had to be. Oh man, you had him back there sitting a row behind you, and then you had him on the restart.
Yeah.
He made that little dive on you there into the horseshoe.
Is that when he sort of disappeared
Yep,
a bit behind me? Yeah.
yep.
Okay. Yeah. I think I was on the inside. I don't know, but we were told that we could have fun in these cars and hit each other a little bit. So, yeah, I'm sure it was fine. Clean in my eyes.
Well, congratulations on. I got to congratulate you on 2 things. Congratulations, first of all, on the championship here, but a pretty good darn result in the Skippy series, the Formula Eagle that we cover.
Yeah. That's. I personally think the Race of Champions is more important than the Tony Hayes Cup and the Formula Eagle, but yeah, no, not bad. It's not bad. I missed one of the races, sadly, so I wasn't really sort of trying to fight that hard. I just wanted to try and qualify for this race, to be honest. But
well, you did it. You put on quite a show. It's fun for us as commentators. I think it's fun for the fans. You enjoy this?
Yeah, really, it's great fun. I mean, amazing, obviously. Best thing ever in the whole world.
It is.
Yeah,
it's really good.
No bias there whatsoever. You know,
It's always nice when you win. Pierce, congratulations. We'll see you next season.
Yeah, thanks very much. Thanks, guys.
Pierce Shortfill Cockey, your Season 10 Race of Champion. Okay, who else we got to talk to here? How about the fan belt? Let's go ahead and bring down series organizers here. Well, actually, we'll save Johan to the very end. Do we have
Yeah, we could grab Mikhail down here.
Yeah, let's save our series organizer to the very end. We can wrap up that way. Let's go ahead and talk to Mikhail Hoflandaisen, Adam.
Yeah, hey Mikhail. I got to ask you that right there, coming down the backstretch there on the first initial start of the final race. Did you have any idea you guys are 4 wide right there?
No, I thought it was just me and Johan. I thought the other guys were behind us.
Well, that definitely proved to be a little bit exciting, and I guess with these cars, you're able to bump fenders a little bit more. That make this race a little bit more fun for you in this type of format.
Yeah, obviously it's always fun with Race of Champions. I didn't have the speed in the car, but it was sure fun. And since the street stock last season, we could bump much more on each other, so we had much closer race this Race of Champions. At least what I'm thinking.
So what's on tap for you guys next season? Do you know yet? Do you have any say in what you want to do?
I think I'm going to stick with the Formula Eagle series. I have been doing quite good when I've been on track. Had a few misfortune this season, but as I said earlier in the season, next season I hope for P5 in the total.
Well, we're certainly up for you, Mikhail. You're one of the guys we always pull for up here, and wish you the best of luck, man.
Thank you so much. And thanks GSRC for whole season 10. It's been amazing having you guys.
Oh, we appreciate you guys too. You guys always put on a great show. So I think Soup, you're anxious to talk to Johan.
We're going to bring in the series organizer here, and GSRC is privileged to cover lots of great series here from many different aspects. One of our favorite ones, though, is the Absolute Beginner League. One of the best run series and just fun for us to do. Johan, congratulations on season 10. What a success.
Yeah, for sure. I hope you can hear me, guys. That was amazing fun. I personally haven't organized this event. Liam Quinn has done so, as I was away for the last months. He has been taking a few things over for me, but yeah, this was an amazing end for the season. We've done the street stocks a few times, the last 2 seasons for the Race of Champions. We wanted something completely loco, completely different this time. And I think we succeeded with the Legends. It was an awesome pick, and it was completely stupid, but extremely fun at the same time.
And that's what this event is all about. And I think everybody has a good time in it. I am just impressed by how well you guys managed to get, I call it herding cats. You're able to get all the drivers lined up and get the thing rolling. That really went off well.
Yeah, well, like I said, Liam is the one you should thank for that, because he has been racing and then at the same time calculating the scores as quickly as possible for you guys, and then also making sure that everybody lined up. I tried to help him here and there, but it's a lot of work goes on behind the scenes in these races, because you want to participate, but you also at the same time have to make sure that everybody's ready on time. But from our point of view, it went smoothly, and it was extremely fun to watch in session and to watch on the broadcast and to race in this, of course. So I'm really happy with how it went.
Yeah, let's get out of the backroom office type stuff. Let's get to the racing on the track. I'm going to go to the highlight of the night, 4 wide down the backstretch. You were part of that.
Yeah, that was not how I imagined that race going. I think that I might have cost it a little bit. Like Vincent had a slightly bad start, so he got completely swamped. But at the same time, I had a really bad exit. So I dropped out, and then people behind me improved, and the 4 wide. And I had Liam on one side and Michael closing in on the other. So yeah, it was up, down, up, down, up, down from there. And yeah, it was... I would have liked to not have a restart, because I had a good starting position, but yeah, it was fun, like you said, and that's all that matters.
Yes, well, I think the fans were happy that there was a restart. I know the commentators were happy about it. I think the only guy probably not happy about it was Pierce Cocky. All of a sudden, after the restart, he had Aero Numb on his outside.
Yeah, like he probably was very glad with the original starting position, with Aero starting in P5, like 4 cars is above or between him. But I'm extremely happy that Pierce won this event. Like, Pierce has been with us for the last years, and this is the first time that he won a big championship ordeal, and the guy certainly has the speed, and well, maybe we should do more championships without pit stops. Like, he's really good at this.
Well, let me congratulate you on a great series, on a great event, both to you and Liam Quinn for putting everything on. We look forward, hopefully we can get the nuts and bolts worked out, coming back and doing another season with you in the future.
Yeah, for sure. Everything looks fine, and then we need to start soon for season 11 of the Absolute Beginners League. We cannot wait.
Fantastic. Thank you very much. That's the fan belt, Johan van der Velde. Congratulations. And that'll do it for us today, Adam. Our season is done. Boy, that is so much fun. It's almost sad to get to the end of it.
Yeah, I really do like these Absolute Beginner League Race of Champions. Put on a great show all the time for these Race of Champions events, but also their normal league races. And it's really been a pleasure calling these races for these guys.
Okay, with that said, let's close up shop here for the last time this season. We'd like to thank everybody, and we just did it at the Absolute Beginner League. Of course, Johan and Liam, the 2 guys that are really helping out there, they do a great job. Also, their sponsor is ilovesimracing.co.uk. Now, I Love Sim Racing, that's a website where you can find out a lot about quality-made sim racing button boxes, and they're custom-made to your own personal design. You know what that does? That makes sim racing the experience more realistic and fun. It helps you execute all those important in-race vehicle settings and pit stop changes, giving you the extra edge on the track. And all of it is at a competitive price. Now, they're working closely with you. It's their goal to create the exact button box layout that you've been looking for, figuring out what it is you want and what it is you really don't want. And that button box is something special that only you have. Your button box is not only going to work on your PC, but it's also going to work on your PlayStation 4 platform as well. Who are they? They are ilovesimracing.co.uk, the home for your personal created button boxes. Adam?
Yeah, thanks to the company's equipment and software that you see on the screen now that we use on our broadcast. The original music you've heard on today's broadcast is thanks to Eric Elcom and Casey Lalonde. See the screen for how to contact each of them.
If you'd like to find out more about GSRC, including dates and times of upcoming broadcasts, or to find out about archive broadcasts, your best bet is www.globalsimracingchannel.com. We're also on Twitter at GSR Channel and Facebook at Global Sim Racing Channel. And now, before we close up shop, on behalf of my mic make, Adam Young, our director, Amjad Yaman, and our camera artist, Dougie Beard, I'd like to thank all of you for watching. With that said, we're off to have fun storming the castle. So until next time, race clean, race hard, and we'll see you on the track.